Let's talk about two products that you can buy from Amazon or eBay pretty cheap, and they will drastically improve your sex life. In my second year of university, when I became like a full-on fuckboy and I was getting good at fucking girls, there was two purchases that I made which changed it all. And you wouldn't like, I know this sounds like clickbait, but obviously like these aren't my products, so I can't sell you anything. So you can hopefully see the emphasis that I'm making, that these two things will just change up so much. I've already mentioned one of them to you before, which is a speaker, a loudspeaker. In my second year of university, I had like this big speaker, like probably like this big, that I took to my university room. The kind of one that, you know, is plugs fully into the wall, like it needs to be turned on at the wall. And it was like loud as fuck. It was good for like parties and everything. And then I got this one as well, and this one's nice and portable. This has been like my old reliable. The second product is a mood light. And specifically, you probably have seen this, you know, like those LED lights that like TikTok boys and girls seem to have, where, you know, it makes their room like teal or pink or whatever. They work very well. But the best kind of LED light that you can get is one that kind of moves around, changes the color and the flash. These two things together create this kind of environment where it will be irresistible for a girl to fuck you. And I know this seems like so overemphasized, like, and why this is so simple, especially depending on the kind of girl that you're attracting and that you're going to bring back. Because for me, in my second year of university, I was getting girls from Instagram, from Tinder, and from Night Game, like in clubs and parties. You might have experienced something like this, where you bring a girl back into your room and it's just not really a sexy vibe, and so, you know, it's kind of awkward. You just kind of like sit there and then you think, okay, maybe we should go on to Netflix right now, or, you know, you sit there and you ask each other questions like, oh, what kind of music do you like? You're sat there in like the bright light, you know, the ceiling light. You're sat there in silence. The room's kind of cold and shit, and you're just kind of like awkwardly, like not even looking at each other, not really knowing how to like physically, like, you know, you can bring the girl into your room, you've done the hardest part, but you don't know how to just do that last tiny bit of like literally just starting to have sex with her, because that feels kind of awkward, and there's a level of resistance to that in most environments at home. So the two things that you need is speakers where you play loud music, and also the correct kind of lighting, because the thought of like the majority of guys fucking with like the bright light, if it's a girl that, you know, who's your partner and you live together, okay, fair enough. But if it's like a hookup with like, you know, the first time you're sleeping with a girl, especially if you brought the girl back from a nightclub or something, and you've just got like the bright light on, the thought of that makes me cringe. What we're trying to do here is recreate like the club / party environment where girls and guys are known for being most slutty. If you can almost visualize in your mind of like girls going wild and, you know, like pulling their tops up and like showing guys their titties and everything, they act like this in this quite unrestrained way in that club party environment where there's loud music and dimmed but colourful lights. Most guys bring a girl back to a quiet and bright room and then wonder why they're getting like last minute resistance, because you both have like a certain level of insecurity. You know, she's maybe quite insecure of her body and she doesn't feel comfortable like getting naked when it's like so fucking bright outside. You can find both of these products, especially the little mood light, whatever kind of one there's none in particular that you need to get. Some of them project like stars and stuff into your room, and that's fine as well. It's a little bit cringe, but you can go for one like that. You can get like the LED strips that you put underneath your bed or on your ceiling, and they're like more in trend right now. And why this is important is because I've experienced exactly that thing of bringing a girl back to my room and not really knowing how to escalate from there. Like, you know, you wish it was a little bit easier. I remember there was this girl from Tinder who I took out to Archie's. So in my university accommodation, there was like an Archie's. Archie's is kind of like a milkshake and burger fast food place. And it's kind of like a nice environment. It's not like McDonald's in a certain sense. It's more like this almost like, how's it explain, but it's kind of like a nice sort of milkshake place. I took her there, we had like a milkshake together, and we're like, oh yeah, like, do you want to go back to mine? And she's down for it. She was down to come back to my place. On the first time that we met each other from Tinder. She was down to fuck, right? I bring her back to my place, and it's just kind of like, I didn't know how to escalate because it was broad. It was like, you know, 3 p.m. or something. It's broad daylight. It wasn't so much of a sexy mood. And so we literally just sat on my single bed. Both of us, you know, like almost like an L shape, like sat upright with our legs out, just with the laptop on my lap, just watching a movie. And for about 1 hour, I'm literally thinking, okay, how do I escalate? I'm not even watching the movie, bro. This bitch is actually like paying attention to the movie, enjoying it. All that's in my mind is like, how do I like... I did that. I did the first thing, which is like, yeah, you put your arm around them. But then this bitch is just watching the movie, and I'm like, should I go in for the kiss? I don't know. And then I kind of like kiss her on the cheek, and she like, you know, likes it, but then just keeps watching the movie. And you know what I mean? It's just fucking awkward. Like, how do you go from there to like pounding this girl, man? And when I think back about it, we were sat there in like a cold, quiet room, which was like brightly lit, and the sun's coming in, and like the window was open and everything. It wasn't in an environment that was conductive for me fucking. And then I'm gonna tell you, there was so many times that, you know, then I had the right environment, and so In my second year of university, before we would go out to party or to clubs, there's a thing called pre-drinking in UK sort of party culture, which is that you all come together in like someone's house or someone's room in like an accommodation or apartment, and you drink there first with your close friends, and then you go out to the venue. So before we go out to drink, we drink inside first. In my student halls, my student like dorms, I would have my friends come over, maybe 4 guys, and you know, we're all drinking, having a good time with music on and stuff. And one of the things that I was known for from my guys was setting up my room for a shag, where just before we were about to leave, you know, like we're just putting on like the last like perfume or something, we're about to like get ready, the Uber's outside, or we're getting ready to like go walk to the club that we're going to. I would literally make my bed, set the right song on, so I would leave the speaker literally just playing overnight, set the mood light on, I'd turn the major lights off, I'd close like the window, stick on the heating so it was warm enough and everything. I would set it up for a shag so that the moment I brought a girl back, it was ready. So many guys didn't do this, and it would blow my mind because it was such an easy, like it takes 2 minutes. It was such an easy thing to implement, which drastically improved my sex life, but also drastically decreased that sort of last minute resistance that you get when you've brought a girl back, but then you don't really know what to do with her after that. There was this one time in my 3rd year of university where I had the same kind of setup, you know, with the lights and everything. And me and my one friend had went on a night out, and as we were going back to, you know, take a Uber back to our home, we saw like 2 girls just like walking somewhere. So we literally ran up to them, you know, spoke to them, spat game and everything, told them like, oh yeah, come to this party or some shit. So we bring them back to our place, and I take one of the girls inside, and I hadn't like set up the room, but it was, you know, easy enough to be set up because, you know, I was kind of used to this by now. So I walk her inside of my room, and this is how easy it became for me to actually like get sexual with a girl after bringing them back home. All I had to do was just ask her the question like, do you want to see the best part of this room? And of course she says yes. I turn the big light off, you know, the ceiling light, and then just turn on the light of like the little club kind of like little lamp that I have here that I got like £8 off eBay. And then instantly it gives me the level of confidence because the room's kind of dark now, there's loud music playing. It gave me the confidence to not say anything else, literally just walk straight up and start kissing her. I remember that one night, that one moment being so significant for me because I could remember times when I'd awkwardly sat there with the laptop on my lap thinking like, oh yeah, we're supposed to watch Netflix because I don't know how else to escalate. And then fast forward a year, so used to these 2 cheap products. Literally all I had to do was have loud music playing, turn on the mood lamp, and literally I didn't even have to say anything else. I didn't have to like, oh, do you want to have a kiss or something? Literally just walk straight up, start kissing. That kind of like dimmed but colourful flashing lights with loud music just puts people into the zone. If there's one quick thing that you implement to improve your sex life, make it this. Get a speaker, get a good playlist of music that you like, that girls kind of vibe with, and it's kind of like sexy music, kind of music that they play in clubs or girls like fantasize about, so that, you know, like a bunch of like Drake songs, or Brent Faiyaz is like this rapper that's kind of viral with like the slutty girls these days. A bunch of music like that, a mood light that's moving around, and you're sorted.